Hello and welcome everybody to the BAMS cast Black Friday edition. We find you after a lovely turkey day. Lots of kind sentiments shared yesterday on the text thread in a league where, considering that we are in the middle of one of 2 weeks left before the playoffs, it is pretty wild that we only have one team eliminated from the playoffs, from the winners bracket. So that is just Diesel Trades, which changed their name. Yeah, like very cryptic, very Cam Newton. Changed the font, put some emojis in there. So that is the Diesel Trades team at 3-9, but with a bracket pointed up for them with all the trades that they made. Then there are 11 teams that have not yet been mathematically eliminated. Lots of 5-7s. Fiona 4-8, Lenoir 4-8. The 5-7s include Tottenham Hotspurs, Commish, Stairway, and in we had plenty of trades going on, but when it got to the trade deadline, there were a lot of people holding their cards, and that's a lot of those 5-7 teams who are still in the mix. Turkey's Wayne Gang might be the best team in the league and was really close to missing the playoffs. Um, they find themselves in the sixth spot, prime off a 3-win streak of back in the mix for the playoff push. Shout out to Shea at 10-2. Shout out to Baloney Squeezes at 9-3. Lots of things happening. A league that is still wide open. Kamish, how was your turkey day? How are we feeling about a big Bears game today on Black Friday? Take it anywhere you want to go.
Yeah, you couldn't draw it up better than what we have today. Uh, an uncertain Bears team who is just being built up by the media all week as better than what they've been talking about them for the past 10 weeks or whatever to garner some interest for this game. So Bears fans, I think, are jacked. I haven't seen the line move much. I think it's still seven, -7,
7.
Eagles. But you got to be happy. A first place Bears team day after Thanksgiving. What do you typically do on a day like today? You probably get the Christmas stuff out. So I have an excuse to put that off another day. Um, and we have fantasy football. And going back to the standings, there's so many moving parts to it. Yes. One, I'm going to touch on diesel trades. Bamalytics, pretty sure he was the no, let me rephrase that. Bamalytics, he was the first team to ever change his name mid-season. So he is the kind of the godfather,
Oh, he was the originator.
the originator of the mid-season change, which was dumpster fire, which that caught on like
Yeah.
fire. With the logo, with it, I mean, it was a great move then, and it kind of went away from it, but it was like every bottom dweller team for a few years after that changed their name to Dumpster Fire. So that was a good thing, and maybe something that we that catches back on after all the traction that these podcasts get, and people hear me say this. So love to see him change the team name, participating, stuff like that. It's the clever, the emojis, the different emoticons, if you will.
And we all wish that Derek's Red team would have been the originator of change the name, but
Yeah,
he refused. So Diesel really capitalized there.
we waited for a few years for that to happen, and the passive aggressive comments never took.
And now he's Lenoir,
Now he's Lenoir,
reborn.
and on that segue, we'll move up the standings. There's again, it's so close in the middle. You got, I'm pretty sure Nick Star too is like 4 or 5 wins, right? I don't know if you said,
Five and
yeah,
seven.
yeah, he's 5-7. Him and Lenoir were dead in the water. I mean, they were written up, and more or less, myself included, we kind of still are seeing as how Polanco has been playing, and he's kind of holding on to that sixth spot right now. But still, being a game or two out this late in the season, all the way down the standings there, it's close. And then you go up to the top, and we have Shea, who's clinched a bye already, and we still have 3 weeks. I'm pretty sure that's the first time that someone's clinched a bye as early as that.
That's a
Uh,
phenomenal note. yeah, that my entire rambling entry into this podcast is saying how wide open it is, how everybody still has a chance,
which is
and like
true.
all the parity in this league. But then, yes, there is Shea that's just doing absolutely
Yeah,
fine. Catbird
and
seat.
more or less Grimmer too. I mean, he's got a 2 game lead on the third seed, yourself, which I'm sure you know that. I mean, so he's more or less clinched his bye just about. But yeah, there's a lot of it's a lot going on. You and I are in two very different spaces right now. You've kept up the winning up until last week, but I think you had 5 or 6 wins in a row.
Six, because I started 1-4 and then I made it 7-4. Now I'm 7-5. So yeah.
And keep
And
rambling.
I think we flipped. This is good for the BAMS cast in terms of like I want both of us to just be like number one and number two fighting for the championship, but then we lose intrigue of our audience. This way we've kind of flipped of like you you won last year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So okay. You had that run of what over 365 days without a win. Then you get into you're a champion. We start this year. You're riding pretty high. I'm doing complain corners. I'm going 1-4 to start the season. And now, like, you're catching some injury, misfortune. You send your Amon Ra gif yesterday. We talk about injury timing of like you're about to make a playoff. You're trying to stay in the playoffs, and even particularly within the week, you have 0 points and you get injured early in the game. It's just
yeah,
absolutely backbreaking.
yeah. I know we got to get into the matchups, but I'll just insert a new segment here, which is called "Just Be Thankful." It's in the same family of the complaint corners, but it's my way of complaining without complaining. I like you said, I enjoyed that championship run last year, and everything worked out in my favor. The trades worked out, the team was healthy. I am experiencing that mean regression right now. I It's just a lot of thoughts on my season, a lot of opinions. I think I made a good trade by getting rid of Brian Thomas, bringing in Omari and Hampton.
You
He
did.
goes down. Trey Benson, I drafted him, and he conveniently became the RB1 there. He goes down. Um, I think there's a couple others, but yeah, I'm on Rod going down yesterday. Is like, it's part of the league. Just be thankful for the teams that are at the top that haven't had to experience that yet, or at all this season. And it's a fun ride when your team's healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, you enjoy it. This is like this is and it you're authentically being thankful, but it does make me think of like a Bieber face, which is just kind of like a
Yeah.
be thankful.
Mhm.
Um, do we want to recap some games?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop into mine and get that out of the way first. Oh, I actually won last week. That was good. Uh yeah,
The
so
Spurs, man. This team's pretty good, but
yeah, they fell off a little bit. He was riding high with Ibuka early in the
there we
season.
go. That's but you want to try to pinpoint what was going on, and that's
Yeah,
it.
props to him. I really tried to get McMillan off him.
Test the man,
I think he is a stud.
dog.
He's in a great position too, just to garner all those targets in Carolina because they have no one else. But yeah, like you said, it's a good team. Daniel Jones was on fire earlier. He's come off and he's hurt now, so I don't know what that means. He's got no tight end, and that flex is shaky. So, um, yeah, he's one of the teams in the mix with me, and I was happy to beat him so I could stay relevant somewhat. But yeah, my team I feel like looks good on paper. It just does. Like Rome has really it's the Bears connection. And I'm battling this week with do I play Rome or Caleb or Bo Nix and my slew of Broncos, which
Mm.
has been shakier, but not that anyone cares. It's not about me. The podcast is not about me. The league is not all about me, but I'm on the microphone right now. So I think I'm just riding with Caleb in Rome today. I think it's
No, I mean, coming to your ears, and we haven't decided if we're going to release this prior to the Black Friday game. I think we have time to do that, right?
to release it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
absolutely can. Yeah.
So great. So announce we are doing a live announcement of
Yeah.
the starters for commish.
Yeah. It's
Um,
yeah. Go ahead.
the oh this is so funny because I'm like there was earlier this year, I think you talked me out of a player that it I don't think it ultimately mattered, but it did like bring my team down 10, 15 points of like what I was ultimately going to put out there. So we're going to break this into two segments. Segment one is potentially talking you out of what you just said of riding with the Bears, but the wins in Philly are going to be the wins that we experienced on Wednesday here in Chicago.
Did
We're
see that late
talking,
last night.
it is average 16-mile-per-hour winds with gusts up to 34 miles per hour. Timmy has taken the under 44. He's taken the under on A.J. Brown, the under on Devontae Smith. Um, and what else did we do? I went blind betting yesterday. Just lost everything.
No, no.
So we just threw another deposit in, and we're just gonna fire back up
Double down.
on this Eagles game today. But that is something that's gonna be something to watch today. Or it could flip the other way that like the teams don't even want to try field goals, and maybe that means they're going for it on fourth down more. So I don't want to talk you in or out of it either way. But
No,
that's
I
one
mean
observation.
that's fine. I mean that's what we're here to do is to bring info to the masses. And if we're speaking truthfully here, my season relies on Bonex. That's where I'm at. I just shifted. I just jumped ship. That whole thing. I just went to Bonex.
And while you were just switching to Bo Nix, I just remembered, yeah. And then over on Saquon rushing, like that's the stuff that you want. Saquon touchdown. So those are all the things that I'm saying. It's all bad for the Bears. Oh, another thing, Black Friday game.
Last year was
Eagles are wearing the All Blacks. They're
mm,
gonna look so good
yeah,
at home.
that's
Yikes.
tough. But it
So
would be, here this segment is called, but it would be so cool if we won.
all right. It
Moving
would be
on.
so cool. I'd love to lose all my money today and
Yeah.
have the Bears win. Hold on. I do want to go back to your
Yeah,
roster and
yeah.
just make one observation, which is
Mhm.
if you click in, I think harmony is the term that your team has missed this year. It just feels like when Quinshawn was firing, the rest of the team wasn't. Caleb
Mhm.
and Rome were firing early. Rome, the first 4 weeks, was like a top 10 receiver. And now the Bears have kind of become a frustrating team in like similar to the Packers receivers, the Ravens receivers. Like you don't know who's gonna pop.
Which is
And
not it's good for the team, for the league, for
yeah,
the
you
fandom, but
you keep
fantasy.
the opposing defenses guessing in real life, but in fantasy that is a
Yeah.
problem. Um, like and Trey McBride, he I even click into him, but like he once
He's
Kyler Murray went down, then that's when he started popping when he had Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, so it's like when you
yeah.
hit week 6 and on, he's been incredible, but you maybe could have used him earlier in the season. It's
Right.
it's just all these kind of moving pieces that just haven't all lined up at one time, or when you're trying to get Bo Nix in the mix with your Franklin stack, which
You know,
just not piecing all together, not singing all at the same time.
I did it to myself. I don't. I am a stark believer in not having multiple QBs on your roster in a league
Yeah.
like ours. And I get the argument aside from that, but like I don't need to have that decision to make. Like get a reputable or stream them. But
Mm.
I had 2 weeks in a row. If we did this pod, um, I made the wrong decision 2 weeks in a row. That meant 2 wins for me. Like it's just it's not worth it. I have other stuff to think about. Let's move on. Enough of my middling team. Uh,
Oh,
Shea.
we could keep this one short. Oh, this is
Oh,
this week. All right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Diesel and Nog. Nog is
Nog. I mean, it's just like
mud.
going up going up against these. We talked about how ever since I made the drag you into the mud comment about the Nog, he
Hmm.
then started scoring very highly. But this is really funny that he plays the one team that has been eliminated from the playoffs. I do believe that he is the team that delivers the finishing blow to Diesel guys and
Yeah.
knocking them out of the playoff contention. But this is a drag you into the mud. He borrows my beloved Parker Washington,
Hmm.
um, who I just didn't have a spot for on my roster, but is good. It's just he's not a keeper. He's the third wide receiver when everybody's healthy on the Jags.
That's
Um,
gross.
Saquon has been, yeah, just
I don't know if you want
very,
that.
very
I
average.
knew he'd
Um,
been average. I wanted to see specifically, but yeah, not much going on there.
but yeah, so Nog, Nog, I don't have the time to do this, but I would love to know just how many times, like, what is Nog's win percentage when he scores under 95 points versus the rest of the league?
I think we
Like, that
can.
would be a great BAMalytics. Um, because I feel like if he scores under 95 points, he has like a winning record. Whereas everybody else in the league would have a losing record.
Yes.
It's incredible. So he does it once again. Diesel guys, I'm sure knowing Tommy doesn't even want us to talk about his team. Again, shout out to him and the stacking of trades that you got to know when to pull the plug, which is advice that maybe
Yeah.
some people wish they might have taken. Um, as they're on the outside looking in of playoff contention. But Diesel guys, it's all about next year. Graph going up for them, and then the Nog, which when I think in terms of standings is a lower scoring team, you need record, you need wins. So
Yes.
for Nog, if he can get himself to 8 wins, even if he is on the lower scoring end, there's just so many 5-7 teams. There's a 6-6 team in Polanka that he just needs to go 1-1 in these final 2 weeks, and he's an 8-6 team, and I think that gets him in.
Yeah. The Wayne gang. Um, for the
Oh,
sake of
and
go,
we do when we get to the Wayne gang, we do have to click into that team and read the nicknames because I don't think we've had a BAMS cast in November to go through the nicknames of the Wayne gang.
we're doing that now. Let's do your matchup. This was because what I was just going to say is for the sake of time, there's a couple of matchups that we can just breeze through. This is
Okay.
not one of them. Um, you, if I switch over, can you see now the
Yeah.
spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Okay, so I do podium numbers, which is just the top three every week, and if they won or not, just to see. And I look back at last year. There's 5 times where someone was in the top three on the week and lost. And this, sure, I mean, you had a dynamite week and lost. Polanka was, but 150 points. He puts up the best week of the season. That this, I mean, it always happens like this a few times every year. But we'll get into the details. But yeah, let's go look at his names: Fat, Thick, and Home. Mahomes, Mahomes.
James, cook the turkey, please.
Jimmy
Hamburger ribs.
and beer ribs, CD Ham, Mayflowers, Zayflowers, nailed it. Michael Pittman, likely Littman, Hunter Henry, Hunting Hens G, Travis Etienne, travel safely, friends. That's I would do this and it would just be a chat GPT input, but he is good at this and clever enough to do this.
Yeah, this is just a classic case of just a very, very smart, funny man.
Yeah.
These puns are fucking excellent. Um, I also want to, for those who are not familiar with the French language, including myself, who had to look it up, but Zonavin Night, he goes un bon vin la nuit, which is French for a good wine at night.
That's fantastic. I'm glad you looked that up.
No, it's just So I was delighted to lose to him. Obviously, I can have a much better sense of humor about it because if this was my season and this happened, I then we'd be doing a 10-minute complaint corner.
Yeah.
Um, I this was just game recognized game. Like I'm still in the playoff mix. Um, so it didn't crush me. And I looked at him, and if I beat him this week, I think he misses the playoffs. So he needed this one badly, and the competitor in me wanted him to lose and miss the playoffs because his team is so stacked.
Hmm.
Um, but the sportsman in me is just like, you deserve to be in the playoffs. His team is really good. So,
Yeah.
um,
Bouncing back and forth. If you, I mean, his season has been fantastic to watch because I mean we talked about it all season how he was just getting screwed. He had the early on had the best week and just had the most points against him and the unfortunate losses, and now it's just panning out for him with the last 2 weeks. Um, but you see here he took over the most points and he's also got the most points again. So just a interesting uh season for him. But
but when
Denver
Hambeer
omelet the day after Thanksgiving too. Not I don't want to leave that one out. But
But Hambeer and Ribs going for 53, that was a tough one to overcome. That
yeah,
should get you across into the win column. So yeah, that was all good stuff. And you know what? I'll gloat a little bit here.
do it.
I just in terms of starters plus bench, the team that I have put together, I feel quite good about. Of I'm like, I just don't think there's any bad players. You talked about
Hmm.
you don't want to carry two quarterbacks, but a default mascot for me has become Jackson Dart. I think I need him on my team for the
Yeah, I
rest of the
was. If
season.
you didn't take him that week, I was going to. That was a great pickup. And
Get up here, Ellie.
she she
Yeah.
she agrees. Do you see Uncle Tim? Um, are you going to play him this week, or are you just protecting him from the rest of the league because that also is a
Hertz,
need?
I think, is going to throw for under 200 yards today, but I think he's going to run for probably 25 or 30 yards and have a rushing touchdown. Um,
A couple pushes from the tush.
and it's just like he just gets 20. He just gets 20 every week. So especially going up against Stairway this week, I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to go for low variance, just guys that will get me solid points, and that should do it.
Yeah.
So it is gonna be the Hertz AJ Brown stack um, for this week, which I think nets me 30 points between the two of them, which is fine.
Yeah, that's I like that play. And also AJ Brown is on that wave of backup after the lull, complaining, squeaky wheel. Now he's getting the points and keep him going. Rush you, Rice. He had a good day yesterday for you. Yeah, you're also hitting on all cylinders. The playoffs are going to be super interesting to see. Looking forward to it, regardless if I'm in it or not. Where did I go? I lost my spot. How are we looking at time?
You got to bring that mic up.
Oh, really? It
There,
was that. It's that severe, huh? Okay.
she was
Um,
all over it.
sorry. Get out of here. Okay. Bologna squeezes. Wait, we got to talk about
Oh,
that.
I mean, and shit, shoot. All right, let's go quick here. We'll
Yeah.
just try to. You're gonna. Oh my. Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. Huh?
Stairway, a team that in those final 2 weeks before the trade deadline wanted to hold their cards. One of those teams we talked about of, I want to hold on to Chase Brown, David Montgomery, and it's just enough to take down the squeezes. Jonathan Taylor, if you pull him up, he just scores 25 a week. Um, so that's starter on the right side, Jonathan Taylor.
Oh,
Um, a brutal. Yeah. 8 points after 48, 36, 32, 23, 30, 13, 32, 27. It's like One thing about the squeezes, and this is how fantasy goes, but you want those individuals of if I just have three studs who can put up explosive weeks, that's all I need, and that is the squeezes. But if one of those guys falls short or two of those guys fall short, you got yourself some problems. So when we look at this matchup that we have, the squeezes who are in second place fall victim to Stairway. But if we click out of this and back into the matchup, which I know is hard as we're also caring for children.
She's out of the room now. We're good. But hey, props to her relative to last year's for her debut podcast where I couldn't deal with it. Great job by Ellie. But yeah, back to it. Go ahead.
So Jonathan Taylor, that's a problem. And then we scroll down and we got probably, I'm guessing some people were on the bench that are some of his studs as well.
Yeah, HN and
Oh yeah,
Chase.
so no Chase, no Achan, and then Taylor has a bad week. That's his team is Achan, Chase, Taylor.
Yeah.
So you have two of those guys on the bench. You have Taylor putting up a single digit week. That's what does it. Stairway gets the win, keeps themselves alive for playoff contention. Outside looking in, but still in the mix. And Baloney squeezes. They're at the number 2 spot. They're doing just fine. But yeah, a predictably low week for the squeezes. Although I'm sure they would have loved to get the W.
Yeah, but low. That's 55 is a number. Um, I feel like we always kind of crap on Grimmer's team, which isn't for any other reason. It's just I think by chance for whatever reason. Anyway, that Taylor may be a one of those. It's a long season situation with the waves, kind of like I
Yeah,
was talking about AJ Brown, kind of doing well now, and I think he's going to help you down the stretch. Maybe we peaked with Taylor, and he's kind of after that bye week and a couple down 2 out of the last 3 weeks with now Daniel Jones being down and fracturing fibulas. Um, I feel like power ranking conversation, Baloney's maybe dropping a couple spots down to 3, 4, 5 or something like that if we were to do a full one.
yeah. It is hard to be an absolute stud of 30 points a game every
Yeah.
single week as a running back, touching the ball 20 times plus per.
Okay.
So it's tough.
All right. 10 minutes left. I don't think we need to hit on another Lenoir Fiana. Lenoir, I give him props. It's his first time on the podium uh, for the season. I know he's got a lot of. He's one of the teams that sold off and has a lot of draft picks. So arrows pointing up for him. He picked up Emmanuel Wilson. I meant to and forgot, which just
Do they give you any points for that?
that's just on me. That's if I was to be a complaint corner, it's the arrows self-directed at me. I just have dropped the ball a couple times and there's no excuse for that. You're not going to repeat when you're missing waiver night. So
I think if we go to just we don't have to click into any matchups, but just overview of the matchups. And we do have to give love to Shea beating
mhm.
Pukabu, Shea team, very good, continuing to be very good. Pukabu is in a similar situation to me, 7-5, doing just fine.
Yeah.
Again, go 1-1 over these next 2 weeks, and you're in.
Mhm.
Um, but I do think the Stairway to Evans win over Bologna, completely out of the blue. The Lenoir win over Fiana, completely out of the blue. Those are
Yes.
two tough ones this late in the season. Um, but yeah, and then we have our standings here. Shea and Bologna doing just fine. 7-5, me and Puka. Nog, they go 1-1 over the next 2 weeks. They're doing fine. And I do think the Wang gang, they're that's probably that is going to be that 6 team unless something wild happens. So we'll see how it goes.
How you feeling about a potential holiday lottery going up against Wing Gang in week 1 of the playoffs?
I feel horrible about
Yeah,
it.
that's tough. That's
Don't tell anybody, but I'm going to probably pull some moves to ensure that I stack the box to go up against Nog instead of the
uh-huh.
Wanged game.
All right. Hey, as long as you're playing lineups.
I will start players.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Start.
it's also one of those things of like, I think if you get too cute eh, and then like it might like I'll try to game it and see if there's something to do, but more likely than not, I think it's like I'd rather start a good team, have things break poorly, and I'm up against Wayne Gang. If I try to get too cute and play players that are going to score less, and then I end up playing Wayne Gang anyways,
Yeah,
that's bad fantasy juju that you don't want to take into the first round of the playoffs. So
yeah.
we'll see what actually happens there. Okay, we do we have to dead some guys?
We do, but we have 6 minutes. I'm gonna take two of those just to go over some. Do I have updates? I feel like I did. I wanted to talk about this. We haven't talked about it in a while. Um, All-time weekly winners. Just wanted to give an update on that and just kind of talk. Yeah. So,
Oh, good.
um, just because Polanka has been on a run here lately, so he's bumped up Grimmers into the top five now. Um, so I got yourself, me, Grolly, and T in there in the top five. So I don't talk about that a lot, but I update it each week. So it's means absolutely nothing other. It's in the same conversation of dynasty points. So, but it's cool to see how many weekly wins you have over the life of BAMS. If I can get back to it, we're going to talk about it, but I'm going to go through trades. I'm going to go through moves and see where everything looks and just how things compare because um, I feel like this was kind of a different season. I think there's going to be some different numbers relative to previous. So, um, then lastly, Survivor. Congrats to Grimmer. We just
Mm,
poo pooed him, but yeah, he won. I think you were in that against me that week. It was you and him.
mm.
So congrats to Grimmer. He got that, what was it? $80 for Survivor, and that's been added up there. 3 points separating Polanco and Shea for most points here those last 3 weeks. Um, and that's and then you're pushing Polanco for most points again. So we will go from there to deading guys. We got 4 minutes, so we got a lot of time. If you want to think it over, or if you got anyone in mind, let's start with quarterbacks. Thoughts?
And I have quick thoughts, which is we don't need meta thoughts right now, but I'm providing them. It's going to waste
Yeah.
some time, and I'm sorry. But why is it I always go QB, running back, receiver? Why do you go in a different order? Everything to me makes sense top to bottom to go
Mm-hmm.
quarterback, running back, receiver. I'm just curious what's in your brain that
What did I
you like.
say
You really like going receiver before running back, I think.
in deading guys?
Yeah,
I don't know. My therapist can probably answer that for
it's
me.
fine. Quarterback. I'm going to. It's time. Um, Daniel Jones. He
Wait,
is.
didn't he break his fibula already? Isn't he out, or is he playing with it, or
He's
what?
playing.
Oh, good pick then.
Works fully through fibula issue. No, you don't. You're breaking that thing, dude. Are you crazy? So he's going up against Houston. This is to the point of like what we're talking about late season. Jonathan Taylor, Colts. This really reads desperation and like something bad's going to happen to this man. So, yeah, Daniel Jones is going to die against the Texans, and that's going to be a huge problem for the Colts. It's going to be a huge problem for your Michael Pittmans, likely Littmans, um, Tyler Warren, Jonathan Taylor. That's all problems.
um, this is kind of unpopular for me because I like the guy, but I'm going Drake May because he is on Nog's team, and
Yep.
I need to just voodoo doll this into existence. Poor guy's gonna get a knee, gonna get a knee coming from the side. That's the MCL. That's a little
Mm.
strange. I'm not gonna take him fully out because I want to see him do well in the playoffs, but it might knock him out a week or two here. They've just been riding way too high. Do you want to go running backs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go. Weird one. DeAndre Swift. I think it's Monungai season down the stretch. I don't know
Mm.
why I just even did that. Ben Johnson, DeAndre Swift has never really been his guy. I think we have Monungai to look forward to.
I'm gonna say Trevor Etienne. Wait a second. I butchered his name but that's also his brother's name, right? Trevor Etienne.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going Travis. No, not Trevor. Almost got me. Travis Etienne. He's always hurt, and he's gone 12 weeks without getting hurt, and he's having a great year. So I'm just playing the odds. I think it's Tootin's time to shine. And he's also on Turkey's Wayne Gang, which you know, I already told you the teams I'm going after. So, lastly, we got a minute left. Wide receivers.
I'm dying. Um,
Are you like dying someone on your team, or are you just
no, I have no idea. I have no idea who to go with.
okay? Think about it, because I got a couple here.
You go.
Yeah, no, it's just trouble for the Colts. Michael Pittman.
Okay.
Um, after Jones goes down, they're gonna put Richardson still healthy. He's still backing him up, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and he's just gonna throw a ambulance ball or whatever you call those to Pittman.
I'll get Devontae Smith in. He's just classic case of too skinny.
Yeah,
We saw I get Jaden Daniels earlier. That's what we'll go with.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
He's got
okay.
the Durant legs, and that Achilles is it's gonna be cold out, windy. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Windy, bad for Achilles. High winds. Anything else?
Love you guys.
Hey, yeah.